right. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, welcome today. Hi, my name is alumni, students, faculty, staff, friends, and special guests. Welcome to the Alumni Award Ceremony. My name is Michelle Collette, or the MC for tonight, and I'm class of 2006. I currently serve as the president of the Alumni Association Board, and I'm very, very excited to be here with you in this glorious event tonight. It has certainly been an unconventional journey to this year's Alumni Weekend with many shifts and pivots along the day. But what a great weekend it's shaping up to be. Already today, Trinity welcomed back several hundred alumni who participated in such things as the stimulating sessions of the Alumni College and Fiesta with the faculty. Tonight, we will honor alumni in 5 categories: Tower 5, Fraternity and Sorority Life Alumni Advisor of the Year, Outstanding Young Alumni, Spirit of Trinity, and the Distinguished Alumni. I'm excited to welcome everyone from our alumni and Trinity community into one place to celebrate these dedicated and talented alumni. Before we dive into the ceremony, I want to thank the TUAB, or the Trinity Alumni Association Board, for their tireless work and effort in selecting our award winners from tonight. There are 36 members of our board, and it consists of a diverse group of alumni from various variety of decades, professions, interests, and perspectives. The Alumni to Alumni Committee, which is one of the committees on the board, serve to help encourage nominations and then recommend the slate of awardees for selection to Alumni Relations. Thank you to each of you for your service in this topic. Well, all right, this is a great night ahead, and without further ado, it's my honor to welcome President Danny Anderson to officially begin our awards ceremony.
Thank you, Michelle. So the key word that you heard there was awards, and there are a lot of awards that I hope that you think about as you're moving through this evening. One of them is, if you recently read the Wall Street Journal and the Times Higher Education ranking of universities, they placed us as the 38th liberal arts college in the United States. And if you look overall, phenomenal. If you look overall at higher education, the things that's unique about this ranking is that they do not separate into categories. We're come out 106th out of about 4,500 universities in the entire country, which is phenomenal if you look at the company we keep. You know, that means that we are the only liberal arts college in Texas that places that high in a ranking like that. The other thing, if you read the rankings, is once again, we are best in the West, a category that we have held for about 30 years. Even in spite of the pandemic and all the things that make our life so challenging, it just shows our resilience as we think about how we continue to stand out as a university. But tonight we're here because we are going to really recognize all the great things that our alumni are able to go on and do with their education from Trinity. This is one of the really exciting times. You know, standing around in the Ruth Taylor Courtyard and talk with people and help them think about what is it that's so unique when Trinity alumni are together. You all, as alumni, share this remarkable quality of curiosity and the things that you bring to your life. And tonight, you're going to see recognition for some of the way that your peers have really distinguished themselves in a variety of ways. So I just want to thank all of you for being here tonight to help us celebrate, honor, and recognize tonight's awardees for the ways that they really stand out and that they bring a wonderful spotlight upon all of you as Trinity alumni. So I want to do the start just by recognizing a few different groups as we move through this. First of all, we would not have individuals to present for these awards if it were not for you who write the nominations. So I want to ask for a moment, if you are in this room and you wrote a nomination for someone to receive an award, please raise your hand because we want to give you a round of applause for that participation. You know, the other thing is you can imagine how challenging it is because our alumni are so incredible, and the Trinity University Alumni Association Board has the responsibility of working with those wonderful nominations to make the selections. So I want to give a real shout out to all of the members of the Alumni Association Board for their hard work in making this recognition. Would all members of the board, if you're present, please stand up and let us give you a round of applause. You know, the other thing is we are here as part of Alumni Weekend because Trinity has wonderful traditions. And one of the traditions is that tonight is not the first time that we have recognized alumni for their incredible contributions. So I'm going to ask if there is an alumni award recipient present, would you please stand up and let us recognize you with applause. So I would ask you to please just enjoy the evening, and we're going to ask Michelle Collette to come back and be the master of ceremonies and guide us through the evening. Michelle.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was reflecting that my name is, I'm officially the MC of my household now as well, so it's great. All right, thank you, Dr. Anderson. The Tower 5 Award recognizes 5 young alumni who serve as an example of how to successfully transition from future to young alumni. These recipients have achieved professional success and maintained a positive, engaged relationship with our university and our alumni community. Our 5 winners will be presented in alphabetical order. Our first recipient nominator wrote that he is a great example of a Trinity student leveraging their liberal arts training to find their way in the workplace. He received his Bachelor's of Arts from Trinity, then, after receiving his Master's of Divinity degree, transitioned to consulting. He co-founded and serves as principal of Burnham & Gray, a nonprofit and social impact consulting firm based in San Antonio. His firm recently certified as San Antonio's first B Corporation. He is currently pursuing a Master's in International Development as well. Recognized as a top 40 under 40 by San Antonio Business Journal, he also currently serves as a Democratic Precinct Chair. He remains engaged with Trinity by supporting and training current students through the ALE internship program. Please join me in congratulating Class of 2010 graduate, John Burnham.
Down here so I don't break it. I just want to thank everybody tonight. Former CEO of SA 2020, Daryl Bird, once told me that when we think about the cities across the United States, and we often think about places like Chicago, New York, LA, if we think about them as major stage productions, that the best most of us can ever really hope for is to maybe get tickets to that play for one of the cities, and if we're lucky, get seats in the first couple rows. But that when we think about a city like San Antonio, we not only have the opportunity to be actors, but we also have the opportunity to help make the stage and to write the damn script, too. And so I say all that as a way to say thank you to all of the Trinity professors and staff in the room that just spend their lives and careers investing in students and alumni and helping them transition into the workplace and in a way that they're contributing to a bigger, brighter, better and more equitable San Antonio for everyone. So I know this is an award ceremony for recipients tonight, but really I just want to thank the university for its investment and for the opportunity to just give us a chance to give back and to serve some of the students that we get to work with on a daily basis and learn with them and from them. So thank you so much.
Our next recipient graduated in 2011 with a degree in international economics and subsequently earned a master's in arts in international education. Additionally, she studied a variety of topics throughout the world. She's an international education specialist who works to help institutions internationalize their campuses. She works with the Hubert H. Humphrey Fellowship at the Institute of National Education. In her free time, she also works as a manager for the Bernhard Winery and assists American councils in reviewing international high school application. Sarah's nominator wrote that she'd been given an incredible amount of time as a member of the recruitment network, including working interview weekends, covering college fairs in both Texas and the East Coast, writing letters to admit students, and much more. Her dedication is to bring the best and brightest students to Trinity is felt and appreciated deeply. She also serves as a member of 2AB, and we're very grateful for her service and dedication to the university there. Please join me in celebrating Sarah Kaiser.
Well, thank you, Dr. Anderson. I really appreciate it. And for those of you who know or don't know me, I really don't like to talk about myself. My job previously was giving presentations to students and faculty, and I can do that anytime. But I'm just very grateful to all the professors and staff here and all my friends. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah. Even before completing her degree, our third Tower 5 awardee began a small business, SATX Music, to promote music and the arts around San Antonio, and she continues to promote talent in the arts throughout San Antonio. This awardee received a degree in Urban Studies and Environmental Studies from Trinity in 2012. She currently serves as the Director of Communications at the San Antonio Parks Foundation, where she works to integrate environmental resilience with dynamic, accessible programming and entertainment. Since graduating, she's served the university consistently, joining the San Antonio Regional Club just after graduating and quickly becoming their Young Alumni Chair. She currently serves the board as a secretary and plans to move through the vice president and president positions in the coming year. She also participated and graduated from Trinity's Alumni Leadership Academy in 2018 and continues to build innovative experiences for our alumni and current students. Please join me in congratulating class of 2012, Libby Day.
It's a long way all the way over here. Yes, our official holder. Hi guys, how are you? It's really nice to be back on campus, and the biggest thank you that I have tonight is my parents, who are actually here from Arizona, and they let me move to Texas in 2008. And really, Trinity has done a great job over the years of helping students shape the lens that they use to view challenges and opportunities as they graduate and they move through their professional careers. So thank you to the university and the professors that are here tonight for doing that for me and for doing that for so many others as well. I'm happy that I could build my life in San Antonio and continue to engage with the university and help create positive experiences for those who are here now and for alumni. So come to an event. We're doing a happy hour at Hopscotch on November 5th from 6 to 8 p.m. If you're in San Antonio, I encourage you to come and enjoy the rest of the weekend. It's going to be great. I'm excited that we're all back on campus. So thank you.
Congratulations to Libby and fabulous work on the San Antonio Club. As a San Antonian, I'm very grateful. All right, our next Tower 5 recipient is a 2011 graduate who currently serves as the Manager of Enterprise Applications at Trinity University's Information Technology Services Department. He also serves as a part-time faculty member because of his deep belief that student success and believes he can support students as they plan their own futures. When COVID-19 began to impact the university, Ender stepped in as to the Senior Director of Support role to assist and manage the team to ensure the Trinity community met the challenges and provided the support and industry standard services expected. His nominators shared, Ender is an ideal candidate for this award. because he is a superstar in his profession and chooses to use that talent to continue the legacy and excellence for Trinity and supporting future alumni. Please join me in celebrating Edgar Ergum. Yes! Love you, thank you.
Thank you. So I don't want to sound like a zealot, but I love Trinity. So that's partially why I never left. So I have the pleasure of working here every day, and seeing just the campus transform in all sorts of different manners. That said, I have to thank the people that kept me sane and functioning during COVID. So the amazing soul that's my wife, Mary Alice, also an alum. And then my best friends, Alyssa, Howard, and Juan Perez, also alums, that kept me sane and acted as my therapist. So thank you all. Thank you, Trinity, for being Trinity and being so awesome. So, yeah.
His enthusiasm is radiating. I love it. All right. Our final Tower 5 awardee began his future passion while on campus as the initiator of the Trinity Community Garden and president of Students Organized for Sustainability. He earned his Bachelor's of Arts in International Studies with an environmental concentration. His continued dedication has led to him being widely recognized for his expertise and contributions to sustainable agriculture and the reduction of food insecurity. He is the founder and chief executive officer of Local Sprout in San Antonio, which serves as a food hub bringing food production into city landscapes. He has been invited to speak on a variety of local and national platforms and serves as the president of the Food Policy Council of San Antonio. In his time with that organization, he has spearheaded initiatives such as Healthy Corner Store, Big Fresh Market Box, and an upcoming food forest in the floodplain for the south side of San Antonio. A fabulous representation of social agency and change that, with an entrepreneurial spirit and liberal arts education, can bring together to have a greater community. Let's celebrate and congratulate class of 2013 alumnus, Mitchell Hagney.
Trinity's tradition seems to involve a whole bunch of different sorts of professions and different sorts of people. But something that is really clear is how the liberal arts tradition affects our ability to reach conclusions about what the world needs to see in order to change positively. Libby and I, for example, were two people who actually started the community garden together here. And her passion for music, her passion for the city, it is just like so many other students that I've seen transform the world for the better afterwards. When I think about what allowed me to change local policy, for example, to increase the amount of produce being sold at Healthy Corner stores, that came from that liberal tradition of being on this campus, being around these sorts of thinkers, and being on the Trinity debate team, being able to challenge different ideas, to compete in order to come up with the best things that the world can need moving forward. So all of us are just a little part of that positive change, but being back on campus, it's pretty clear that it accumulates and it's really making a positive difference. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you.
All right. Congratulations to our Tower 5 recipients. The Fraternity and Sorority Alumni Advisor of the Year Award recognizes outstanding service to the Trinity University fraternity or sorority by serving as in an advisory capacity. All alumni advisors are eligible regardless of when he or she served in the role. This year's recipient is an example of this service. A 1992 graduate of Trinity. She has served as an alumni advisor for Gamma Chi Delta. Carla is an example of how to advise our FSL organizations, which led her to being hired as a liaison between the university and the FSL organizations to train and support other alumni advisors. In her time as an advisor, she worked to help these young women navigate organizational trials, challenging them to be their personal best and supporting them throughout their collegiate career. In addition, she went on to help others act as a first line of assessing their liabilities and opportunities for their respective organizations. Carla also serves on the San Antonio Alumni Club and as a director on TUAB, and is very recently named as our new Associate Director of Athletic and Affinity Giving and Engagement. I have to tell you, about 5 people today have come up to tell me a personal story of Carla and asked for me to speak on their behalf as well, but there's just not enough time tonight in this, in this award banquet. So I just have to tell you, Carla is an outstanding individual. So please join me in celebrating the contributions for our Fraternity and Sorority Life Alumni Advisor of the Year, Carla Hagan Phillips, from class of 2000.
Y'all, I'm older, so my memory is weak, so I've got notes. Thank you, Dr. Anderson, and those who nominated me. This is really outstanding. And if you don't know, some of you may be aware, I very much love Greek life at Trinity. That may be news, but I love it for one simple reason, and that's connection. So nothing is more powerful or transformative than connection. And one of my favorite authors ever is Benay Brown. And Dr. Brown talks about connection, and she says, connection is why we're here. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. And she goes on to say that connection is the energy that exists between people who feel seen and heard and valued. When they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from that relationship. Well, amen, Benay, because I've been a member of Gamma Chi Delta since 1989. Through Greek life, I found my tribe. Gammas became my family, and honestly, they were the family that I chose. The more active I was in the club, the more I invested, the deeper the connection became. I made friends for life. Some of them are here today. We've danced at each other's weddings. We've held each other's babies. We've been there when things were good, and we've been there when things weren't good. We go on an annual trip together, and our families know that that time is absolutely, positively not negotiable. Our connection is profound. So I will say it again, I absolutely love Greek life at Trinity. After graduation, I stayed very close with my pledge sisters, but honestly, I lost contact with the university, and it was for quite a while. But then, in 2011, I moved back to San Antonio. My son was 8, my daughter was 6, my puppy was named Daisy, and I desperately needed a date night with my handsome husband. And I could think of no better place to go for a babysitter than a Gamma meeting. So I returned to Northrop Hall on a Sunday evening. What a flashback. And 2 things happened to me during that meeting that absolutely changed my life. The first is the alumni chair snuck over to sit next to me during the meeting and whispered, I have the formal initiation book that every Gamma ever has signed. What pledge class were you? And so I whispered back, 1989. And she lit up. Her face became flushed, and she clapped her little hands together, and she said, I was born in 1989. I knew right there that these women needed me, and they needed me to explain the difference between what you think and what you say. The second thing that happened, and I didn't think this was a big deal at the time, was that the president stopped me after and said, "Will you be our alumni advisor?" And I said, "Well, what does an alumni advisor do?" And she said, "I have no idea." And I said, "Well, of course. I'll sign on that dotted line. No idea. I like gammas. That'll be fine." And as it turned out, for the next 3 years, I served in a very active role as an alumni advisor, along with a team of Gamma alumni. Sadly, Gammas lost their charter during that time, but we rebuilt the club and reestablished the connection between alumni and students. So being an advisor not only connected me with the students, but it also connected me with alumni from almost every generation. And my love for Greek life grew greater, and my belief in the community grew all the more. So today, I can tell you exactly what an alumni advisor does. They're mentors, they coach, they encourage, and they redirect. They question, and they celebrate. They offer perspective. Sometimes they help you work out of a jam, and whether the advisor's counsel is taken or ignored, the students always benefit, because a good advisor makes that student feel seen and heard and valued. And a good advisor helps young leaders grow into great leaders. There are some other advisors here tonight, and I thank you for what you do every single day to make Greek life a better place to be, and I look forward to seeing you guys up here next year and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. I love that you also wore gamma green. So, any gammas in the house? Yeah. The Outstanding Young Alumni Award was established to honor Trinity alumni who have graduated in the past 15 years. Selected alumni have distinguished themselves in their profession and in service to the community, setting a standard of excellence worthy of recognition by the Alumni Association and the university. This year's recipient graduated in 2009 with a Bachelor's of Arts in Communication, Speech Communication, and a minor in Business Administration. Making an international impact on marketing and communication, she has served in a variety of high-profile roles. She has received a variety of prestigious awards, including Best Integrated Campaign 2017, Gold Media Lion, Social, the Best Real-Time Response in 2017, Best Viral Branded Film/Video in 2017, and Ad of the Year in 2016. She began as a digital marketing intern with the Atkins Group and soon moved into the role with TBC, where she aided in the management of a national Smart Balance butter account. She soon catapulted into the international market as a senior global brand management lead for Under Armour. In this role, she led the popular Unlike Any campaign featuring Misty Copeland, the Make That Old campaign featuring Steph Curry, and the Rule Yourself campaign featuring Michael Phelps, which earned Adweek's 2016 Ad of the Year. She moved into her role as Vice President of Global Brand Marketing for Ralph Lauren, where she completed the Family Who You Love campaign, which celebrated authentic living and family. Currently serving as the head of brand marketing at Nike NYC, she is sure to continue to bring innovative, inspiring, and socially conscious marketing campaigns. She currently lives in New York with her husband and fellow alum, Dr. Kevin Eaton, and their son, who are looking forward to adding a new member to their family very soon. Please join me in congratulating our outstanding alumna, Benay Eaton.
Hi everyone, Benay Eaton here. I wish I could be with you all in person to celebrate this incredible alumni weekend. Thank you so much for this amazing award. I am truly humbled and honored as a recipient. My time at Trinity enabled me to build such a firm foundation. And without this foundation, I wouldn't be where I am today. I have fond memories taking marketing, communication, and speech communication classes with professors like Dr. Jennifer Henderson, Dr. Andrew Hansen, and Dr. Charlene Davis, just to name a few. It's professors like these that fueled my confidence and taught me how to think critically and to lead. I am forever grateful for my Trinity experience and the relationships that I have built that started right at Trinity. Thank you so much again, and I look forward to hopefully seeing everyone in person next year. Take care and enjoy the evening.
It's now my pleasure to invite a highly accomplished 1989, sorry, such a great line, graduate of the Trinity University and our Vice President of Alumni Relations and Development, Mike Bacon, to present the final two awards of the evening. I'm just kidding.
At this point, I'll take highly accomplished. Although I'm cracking up, of all days to cut myself shaving, I actually like wearing this mask today. So, thank you, Michelle. I got to tell you, and I know you see it, what incredible alumni we have at Trinity University. It blows you away, doesn't it? The talent. I'm really honored to present these last two awards. The Spirit of Trinity Award is given to a loyal alumna or alumnus who embodies what it means to be a Trinitonian. The award recognizes excellence in service to the community or the university, that's right, over an extended period of time. This is one of the Alumni Association's highest honors to bestow on a member of our alumni network. I am really humbled to celebrate Phil Wetz as this year's Spirit of Trinity awardee. Phil's skills as a professional in financial analysis, communications, and in public relations are used in the service of his alma mater and his church. In his professional life, Phil's career at ExxonMobil spanned over 34 years, beginning in 1975 as a financial analyst. In 1980, he moved to public affairs, where he progressed through several departments with increasing responsibility. And by 1997, Phil's expertise in communications and marketing landed him at Exxon Chemical Company as the public affairs manager, a title he retained with ExxonMobil Production Company when he retired in 2009. For Phil, Trinity University means family. He met his wife Linda while at Trinity. His two siblings are both Trinity alumni, and his daughter Allison is a proud Trinity alumna of the class of 2011. And we're hoping that grandson Wilson ends up here someday too. He created the Wetz Stoddard Endowed Scholarship Fund in honor of both his parents and Linda's parents. He has spent a great deal of time involved with Trinity, including serving on the New York City Alumni Club, the Fort Worth Alumni Club, the Trinity University Alumni Association Board, which we at the time called the National Alumni Board. Importantly, he also served on our Board of Visitors since 2011 and was the chair of our Board of Visitors when I had the chance to start here as the Vice President for Alumni Relations and Development. Phil and some of the other members of that board worked really hard to bring a new direction to the Board of Visitors, turning it into a much more engaged and active advisory board. He helped create bylaws, he approved job descriptions, he created a set of expectations, and basically revamped the structure of the board meetings, even launching a pitch party to bring potential projects from faculty and students to the board. He really helped raise the profile of that Board of Visitors. It was truly a 3 to 4 year process, and Phil's calm and measured leadership were key to the success of this process. He was determined to ensure that the board was a strong and true resource to our president. Phil also shepherded the first appreciation breakfast for our hourly staff, where the entire Board of Visitors joined with the executive leadership team in serving breakfast and thanking and affirming Trinity's hardest working staff members. In the nonprofit world, we often talk about kind of the 3 prongs of engagement: time, talent, and treasure. Phil, along with Linda, have been an exemplary example of all 3 through their unfailing support, including their dedication to sharing their time and talent at the local level, the national level, and their treasure through philanthropic commitments to Trinity in our comprehensive campaign. His time, energy, and resources are fully committed to this institution that he loves. We are grateful to recognize Phil this year. Please join me in congratulating this year's Spirit of Trinity honoree, Phil Wetz.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks to Mike for those gracious words, and I also have to say thank you to Mike for his leadership. All we have to do is look at the upper campus to see how he and Danny have raised the funds needed to transform our upper campus, and it just continues to become more spectacular each and every year, so thank you both. While it's an honor to accept such a prestigious award from Trinity, the real value in doing so is taking the opportunity to thank the people who instilled the spirit of Trinity in my heart. My definition of the spirit of Trinity is shaped by the concept of the Trinity family, which was a phrase that Dr. James Lowry often used during his presidency of the university. It led me to think of what my definition of a family is. And in my view, a family helps people develop so that they can become the people that God created them to be. There have been countless members of the Trinity family who have done that for me, and I want to offer just a few words of gratitude this evening. I have to begin with my parents, Arnold and Lorraine Wetz. When they were married in 1946, my dad had an 8th grade education. My mom had a high school education. Most of those courses were focused on helping her to become a homemaker or an administrative assistant. So while they lacked formal education, they valued education, and they began a life of sacrifice and hard work to give each of their 3 children the chance to graduate from Trinity University. Truly is a miracle. I will always be grateful for the tremendous sacrifices they made on our behalf. Reverend Raymond Judd, chaplain emeritus of Trinity, and his wife Mary Jane have served as friends, mentors, counselors for the past 52 years. Raymond did marriage counseling for Linda and me, and we still remember him telling us that marriage was going to be the hardest job that we ever had. And after 48 years of being married to me, Linda finally understands what he was really talking about. They wrote letters of recommendation for us to become adoptive parents. And they also shared our joy in one of the happiest days of our life when we adopted our oldest daughter, Allison, by allowing us to come to their home, a home that Mike and Susie now live in, and sit with them to give thanks to God for the gift of our first daughter. They've also been with us during times of sorrow, as when Raymond spoke at my mom's memorial service, but that wasn't enough, because during that time they invited us over for dinner that night to give us the opportunity to continue to remember and celebrate the lives of our parents. During my student years, Dr. Richard Burr and Dr. Pat Burr, his wife, also influenced the direction of our lives. Dick, along with Dr. George Thompson, were the 2 Trinity professors who believed in me before I believed in myself. As a result, they encouraged me to get an MBA and convinced me that my lack of financial resources should not be an impediment to continuing my education. They not only convinced me and encouraged me to pursue that dream, but they wrote recommendation letters allowing me to get enough financial aid from Tulane University to do so. They also gave us one of the most wonderful and thoughtful gifts Linda and I have ever received. They wanted Linda to fully enjoy her wedding day. We were married in the chapel, so they invited her to spend the night before our wedding in their lovely home so that she could have a restful evening. But they didn't stop there. On the morning that we were married, they invited us to their lovely home, and Pat prepared a feast for us to share on that day, our first day as we began our new journey. To this day, Linda and I try to seize the opportunities to treat special young people to meals of fellowship and celebration while we were remembering the thoughtfulness of Dick and Pat Burr. While Ron Sims was my suite mate for 2 years at Trinity, the most prominent impact he had on my life occurred many years later. Ron's wife died of Huntington's disease in 2004. For most of the years following her death, Ron has lovingly cared for his 3 adult children, all of whom have Huntington's, as their health worsened. He has done this by himself. I now characterize Ron's actions as the greatest love story I've ever witnessed. His actions define for me what unconditional love really means. I will always be grateful to Ron for inspiring me to share such love wherever I can. Ron is here tonight to support me, even though he is grieving the death of his daughter, who died this past week. And his presence here tonight, to me, exemplifies what the Trinity Spirit is all about. Finally, I want to mention my wife, Linda. We met in a statistics class in Trinity in 1971. And if you'd ever had the chance to see me do regression analysis before the age of calculators or computers, you would have also been impressed. While we were still at Trinity and had decided to get married, she joined Dr. Burr and others in encouraging me to pursue an MBA. But she went a step further, and she worked for the 2 years I was in grad school to financially support us. After grad school, she has continued to work with me to care for my parents, for friends that we have who had special needs, and in addition, she took the lead role in raising our 2 daughters, and now is a frequent caregiver for our grandson. So while my name is associated with this year's award, I consider us as co-recipients because she has either worked alongside me or facilitated the care of our family to allow me to do the work, the service work that I enjoy. Thank you, dear. I could share more stories about many others who have instilled the spirit of Trinity in my heart, but time does not permit. I know that each of you has similar stories of people who have planted the spirit of Trinity in your heart. So in closing, I'd encourage you to convey your gratitude to them in the way of your choosing. Thank you again for being here to make this a special evening for all of the recipients. Thank you.
I think it's pretty clear how deserving Phil is of that award. Our final award this evening is the Distinguished Alumnus Award, honoring achievement and service recognized at the highest level nationally and internationally. This award dates back to 1961 and has been bestowed on only the most dedicated and talented of our alumni. Our nominees often receive a few nominations, but it seems that this year's Distinguished Alumna had the entire city of St. Louis behind her, as they nominated her in a group letter with a ton of support. Many of them are here tonight. They wrote, "Aisha is the embodiment of all that Trinity University represents. Not only is she a highly accomplished writer and a filmmaker, she is a champion of women, families, and others who may be overlooked in today's unsettled world. As a journalist, Aisha inspires change by giving a voice to the voiceless and by providing insight that encourages readers' self-reflection and empathy. Her influence as a writer stretches far and wide. We couldn't agree more. Starting her journalism career at the Trinitonian as a staff writer in 1996, and continuing on to internships at the Wall Street Journal, the Danbury News-Times, and the Dow Jones newspaper fund, before making her way to St. Louis's largest daily newspaper, the Post-Dispatch. Aisha has always been proud of her Trinity roots. She was the former head of Trinity's Alumni Board in St. Louis, a board that she actually helped found, and is a current board member of the St. Louis chapter. She is always forthcoming in hosting programs and celebrating the Trinity community. Aisha's leadership helped grow the group into one of the university's strongest chapters. Aisha's good work in the community knows no bounds. As a speaker, she does not hesitate to MC events and share messaging for local nonprofits and important causes, such as Safe Connections, an organization that provides services for victims of domestic abuse and sexual violence. Camp Jumpstart, which is the nation's only nonprofit weight loss camp for kids and teens in the Great Circle, and Great Circle, Missouri's largest provider of behavioral health services. Those are just a few of her causes. Aisha is driven by a desire to make the community in which she lives a better place and a more tolerant place, and she does everything in her power to be an instrument of change. Aisha Sultan is an example of what a Trinity education can provide: a wide lens on the world and quality-based education to set a career in motion. She has used a natural curiosity in her work, born at Trinity as a member of the staff of the Trinitonian, news editor her senior year, and built an award-winning career in journalism. Most importantly, she has continued to evolve her career as she has developed a multimedia platform which includes a new path as a documentary film producer. Some of us got to see that film today as she was one of our presenters in the Alumni College, and it is a truly powerful film. A voice for the voiceless that we are proud to have as a member of our community. Please, Aisha Sultan, will you join us on stage to be recognized?
This has been a momentous month for alumni out of St. Louis. Michael Nydorf, also in St. Louis, just donated $25 million to the university, and we'll have the business school named after him. And yet, here I am accepting this Distinguished Alumna Award. So go figure. I'm incredibly honored. I have had a love of this institution ever since I graduated in 1996. And if I had an extra $25 million laying around, I would be tempted to donate it to Trinity University. Right? A true development person is. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about why that is, and what it is about this place that engenders the kind of devotion and love you've heard from the people who've graduated here. I came to this university as the eldest daughter of 6. My parents are immigrants from Pakistan, and it was really unusual back then for my parents to allow me to leave the city that I grew up in, where I was raised in Houston, Texas, to go away from home for my education. But they did. They allowed me to come here. And that was remarkable in my peer group of Muslim children of immigrants from Houston. And when I got here, I had a lot of challenges and struggles because I was trying to negotiate and figure out my own identity, my own place in the world, and to create a sense of belonging, of where I fit in. And many people with multiple identities and layered identities often go through that in these transformative years. We're trying to figure out who we are and what we're going to do. And Trinity helped me not only figure out how to see the world and understand the world and write about it and think about it critically, but also to find my place and my voice in the world. And it did this by the relationships that I was able to have with professors who cared about me. So I'm just going to share one story. Dr. Suzanne CFOG, could you stand up? She is a political science professor here from when I was here. And I was not a political science major. I majored in international studies and sociology. And she's a very tough professor. She gave us an assignment to follow a country that was in crisis or an international event that was going on for the entire semester, and then to write a culminating paper about it. And this was at the time of the war in Bosnia and the ethnic cleansing that was happening there. And it was very difficult and painful as a young student to try to understand what was happening in the world. And it's one of those moments when you feel powerless and you're watching like crimes against humanity happen. And I remember going to her office saying, I'm really struggling with this assignment. I don't know if I can do it. And she cried with me. And she herself was vulnerable. And she was one of many professors here who saw me as a person who had something important to say in this world because of the experience that I had and the perspective I had. There were professors in the sociology department, Dr. Michael Curl, who's no longer with us, who, as I teach at Washington University, I often ask myself what Dr. Curl would do if he was in this situation. Dr. John Donahue, Dr. Cheryl Tynes, Dr. Meredith McGuire, all the people in the international studies and sociology program here, they gave me a way to think about the world. And the Trinitonian, which I took a job at just to be able to have a job on campus to pay, really changed the trajectory of my life because it allowed me to put into practice the ideas and the passions and the excitement that I felt about engaging with people and words and ideas in the world. And I didn't realize it at the time. I had no intention of becoming a journalist, which is the only job I've had for 25 years is as a storyteller. But everything I learned here gave me a confidence, along with my parents and my siblings who all came from Houston. A couple of them had to stay behind, but who came and saw me as a natural leader, as someone worthy of being heard. And I think there are a lot of young women of color who are not always given that message, and our country is far sorrier for not having their voices and giving them the platform that they should have in this country. And so in many ways, I feel like this is an award that I share with my parents who defied convention and allowed me to go away from home to study, with the professors who guided me and cared about me as a human being, for the advisor at Campus Publications who saw something in me and gave me an award when I was graduating that I did not anticipate, and it allowed me to think about my place in a media universe of which I had no connection or experience, for the friends and people I met here who were different from me, who challenged my thoughts, who I did not always agree with, but made me see the world in a broader way, for the friendships that I made that changed the outcome of my life. And our eldest, my husband's here, and our daughter, Amina Khan, is now a first-year student. Amina, can you stand up? And I have to tell you, when she told me that she was writing columns for the Trinitonian, I was shocked, and I could not have been more proud. She's a far more talented and brilliant writer than I ever was at her age. And it just gives me immense pride in the fact that I'm going to share an alma mater that is so beloved with me, with my daughter. I'm so grateful and humbled by this award. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all. Such great energy in this room. I'm serious. We are so grateful for and we are in awe of the incredible accomplishments and contributions to the community we've heard this evening, it isn't lost on me that there are many other talented and accomplished alumni. So please think about nominating others who you feel like might be a worthy fit for these awards. Maybe even consider nominating yourself. But for now, please join me in a final round of applause for our winners. One last round, all of you. We'd like to ask our awardees upon the conclusion of the program to please head back to the stage so we can take a few more photos, some formal award photos. For those of you with dinner plans tonight, please enjoy them. But if you don't have plans, consider attending the South Campus Soiree and enjoy the ongoing soccer games happening just down at the bottom of the hill. We hope you have a great time this weekend, and thank you for spending your evening celebrating these accomplished alumni. Thank you.